we were going to see railway services on the Isle of Man stop this weekend, coming towards the end of the sort of tourist season, as it were. Not quite coming into a close just yet, though.
No, that's right. We're extending the service beyond the date at which we'd originally committed to, and very pleased that we're able to do that. It reflects a strong performance over the summer period with the service that we were able to put on, and of course that was really for two groups of customers. One was the visitors from Guernsey through the Arini link, and secondly the staycation market. And I've got to say it's been very well received. The number of people using the service has been in excess of the forecast that we had. And
so is it a business decision? Is it based on figures?
Absolutely, it's based on figures. It's based on reflecting on what our market effectively has said to us, which is that they want the service. Arini have extended their flights beyond the original schedule, and whilst obviously the school children have gone back to school this week, there is still a market for people who would have been away and are now still holidaying on the island. And okay, we're in the middle of September now, but it's still a relatively good time for people to have staycations.
The reason I ask whether it was a business decision is you have been under quite a bit of public pressure in response to, or in regards to, the different elements of the heritage railways on the Isle of Man. Has that played a part too in this decision?
I have been under a fair bit of pressure, and that's inevitable in this role. We took a very considered decision as to what we were going to run. I mean, without going back over old ground, the budgets had gone because the service had been written off for the year with the absence of the tourist season, and we took a positive decision to bring back 2 of the 3 railway services.
So that money had been reallocated?
As part of the budget process, where the Treasury Minister came forward in July with essentially an updated forecast. At the time, each of the departments was asked to go through a real detailed review of their finances, and we'd said there is no tourist season, this is a tourist proposition, therefore we won't run it, and the costs had been taken out of the budget. So it was a positive decision to bring back 2 of the 3 services. We obviously didn't know how it would go, but it's been really, really well received, and I'm pleased to be able to continue those 2 services. Obviously, we haven't run the Stairfall Mountain Railway service. It has been criticised by some very vociferous individuals, but you've got to make decisions. You can't keep everybody happy all the time.
Just quickly on that point, where did that discussion end? And that specifically, I think you're talking about the Manx Electric Railway Society.
Yep.
Conversations ongoing, ended. What are the terms like there?
Well, the Manx Electric Railway Society, which put out a press release saying they were going to put an offer to get what they wanted, which was a service over a 3 or 4 week period. Wasn't clear from the press release exactly what they were asking for in terms of the service. Had no communication from them. The only thing I've had is the press release and a couple of pretty aggressive interview pieces from Mr. Nutter. So,
have bridges been burned?
Well, I've never spoken to the man. He seems to profess to know what my views are, what my agenda is, without ever having spoken to me. So he certainly hasn't done himself any favours there. The job of a minister is to make the best decisions for the Isle of Man as a whole, not to pander to individual lobby groups. And that approach would have been far more successful if they'd engaged with myself and with the department instead of conducting everything through the media.
Okay, so tell us about what will continue to be on after this weekend then, if you could.
So essentially, Dollin, we're continuing the pattern of services that we've run over the summer, which is a 4-day offering in both the Steam Railway and Manx Electric Railway. So Steam Railway runs Thursday through Sunday, and the Manx Electric Railway runs Saturday through Tuesday. So that's going to continue. The dining trains, which have been hugely popular, are going to continue, and we're extending now to the 4th of October, which gives some certainty to people, and it also allows Arini to plan, because clearly they want to be able to tell the people of Guernsey what's going to be on offer for the remainder of their services.
You mentioned the dining train, and I wanted to ask you about that because the popularity has been maybe actually quite unexpected on that. I mean, as a consumer, they're quite difficult to get on, aren't they? This season, they're really popular.
They are really popular, and I think it's one of these things that's obviously captured people's imagination, and it's great to see. It's great to see people of the Isle of Man patronising the services that are provided, and for me, it's a great example of if people support things, then they'll be continued. And it's easy for people to point out that there's a lack of things, but actually by participating, by spending the money, it creates a virtuous circle of the services then can be extended.